coming to you now with breaking news out of the city of Atlanta. Reports are quickly coming in of sudden, mass riots happening in the downtown area. Similar reports are emerging in nearby towns and areas throughout the Commonwealth. What you're seeing now is footage from inside the city itself. We've been also getting word that this mass rioting has been reported as far as areas throughout the Republic of Alabama. These reports have been coming in as early as an hour ago. Rumors circulated of people randomly tackling others to the ground and mauling them in an animalistic and savage-like manner. The Commonwealth's governor has declared a level 5 state of emergency, and it is reported that the colonial army is stepping in to combat the situation. There have been reports of large groups of military troops being mobilized and are making their way to major towns and cities. We have somebody on the line from just outside of Atlanta. Live on the phone with us right now is the correspondent, Hannah Williams. Hannah.
Jack, the situation here has started no more than an hour ago, and things are quickly escalating out of control, all across the city, and even in the outskirts. There have been sightings and reports of random attacks, maulings, and believe it or not, cannibalism.
I'm
there
sorry,
are reports of
one second. Did you just say cannibalism?
Yes, Jack, cannibalism. Believe it or not, there are reports of people eating people in Atlanta and its outskirts. And this all started, like we said, an hour ago.
And Hannah, we've received reports that many of these attackers have blue eyes, very similar to the afflicted persons of the recent Cobalt outbreak. Have you been able to confirm that as of yet?
No official confirmation here yet, Jack, but some of the people who have survived such an attack have claimed their attacker indeed had blue eyes. This does indicate that perhaps these attacks have some connection with the recent Cobalt outbreak, but so far, there has been no official word. Right now there are several tanks, vehicles, and soldiers making their way down the street towards the city itself. I'll let you listen for a moment.
This is the colonial army. Remain calm. Do not leave your... This is a state of emergency. Do not panic. Remain calm. This is the colonial army.
The message keeps on looping through a loudspeaker. Right now, the military has been mobilized towards the city in attempts to control the situation. No word yet from the CDC on any connections to the virus and the violence, but we'll be sure to keep you updated if anything comes through. Jack?
All right, thanks, Hannah. As of right now, as we said before, the situation has been raised to a level 5 state of emergency, prompting a military response. We'll be sure to update you when or if this motion has been lifted. Please stay tuned, we'll be back in a moment. It's been more than an hour since we first started reporting of the recent attacks that have appeared to have begun across the Georgia Commonwealth and the Republic of Alabama. We've received reports that the city of Savannah is also under siege by attackers as well. In the past hour, the Centers for Disease Control, just outside of Atlanta, has confirmed that the recent savage attacks, as well as the ongoing outbreak of the Cobalt virus, are connected, and that the afflicted civilians are exhibiting violent, aggressive symptoms and savage tendencies. Reports are already coming in of power failures in remote areas throughout the Commonwealth. Many fear a potential blackout of the major cities and towns, preventing long-range communication and emergency services from assisting those in need. So far, power plants across Georgia are still holding on, but government officials fear that they will eventually be abandoned by their workers. Live with us now via telephone is one of the lead virologists at the CDC, Dr. Nicholas Wilderson. Dr. Wilderson, what can you tell us about the current stage of the outbreak and how you plan at this point to respond to it?
Well, Jack, the situation that we've been faced with is, well, it's troubling to say the least. This virus, this violence, this entire scenario is something that we, as scientists, as virologists, have never experienced before in our lives. We're dealing with a situation the likes of which mankind itself has never seen in its past dating all the way back even to the beginnings of written history. Black Death, Spanish flu, Ebola, even the plague of Justinian. Every single one of them had a plan and a solution. But this Cobalt virus, there's no plan. There's no solution. There's no way to combat this. We have no plan. We have no solution.
Well, Dr. Wilderson, is there any way we could possibly protect ourselves against the attackers or the infection from this point on? What about a cure? Maybe even a vaccine?
We've tried that. We've tried everything to discover something to it. A cure, a vaccine. But there was something we discovered that, well, it made our efforts pointless.
What exactly did you find?
The DNA is mangled. It was spliced, shattered, split apart, and it was done intentionally.
What exactly does this mean, Doctor?
It means, no matter how hard we try, no matter how hard or how long we search or work, a vaccine or a cure for Cobalt will never happen. Cobalt is incurable. Jack.
So, what exactly can we do as civilians?
The only advice that I could give to civilians is just stay inside your homes, stay off the streets at night, try and trust the army, hope that they can control the situation. Please don't try and take it into your own hands. If you do, you will die. It's not a joke. If the army tells you to evacuate, you evacuate. No questions. If possible, if safe, leave the populated areas. They have the highest risk. This includes Atlanta, Savannah, Macon, Augusta, any of these places. If you can, leave. Now. Or it will be too late.
What will you do now? Will you stay at the CDC, or will you leave?
Atlanta is far enough, and DeKalb has such a low population. I'd love to go home. But I still can't take the risk. Most, if not all of the scientists here have abandoned their work. I fear that if I leave with the rest of them, we would be leaving a cesspool of the worst of diseases for anyone to either be exposed to or exposed to the world. There are strains of Ebola, swine flu, rabies, and other viruses in this lab that could do as much damage as Cobalt, perhaps even more. I cannot risk this lab being compromised.
Will you attempt to destroy the samples before leaving?
It's the only way to prevent any risks.
Dr. Wilderson, reporting from the CDC outside of Atlanta. Thank you, Doctor. Please be safe.
Thank you, Jack. You stay safe too. Good night. Good luck.
We're getting reports that the city of Augusta is now in total blackout. So far, the power grid around Atlanta is standing. The Colonial Army is reporting immediate heavy losses in the downtown area. Military troops were deployed to Savannah and the towns of Valdosta and Athens in the conductions of evacuations of uninfected civilians. At this moment, the number of confirmed deaths has passed 350, and it is only expected to climb. The President has placed the entirety of the Commonwealth and the Republic under martial law, effective until further notice. There are rumors spreading about that the virus has also been confirmed within the Mississippi Commonwealth. However, these reports are largely unconfirmed. For the past 30 minutes, we have also been attempting to regain contact with our correspondent Hannah, but so far, all attempts have failed. Reporting back to Atlanta, the situation appears to be deteriorating at a rapid pace. This footage from a military drone on the edge of the city shows a civilian running from apparent infected victims. We warn you though, the footage you're about to see is extremely graphic.
Их уже пятеро, товарищ командир. Вышел из здания. Стреляют, товарищ командир. Это прорывная справедливо.
We nearly fell. We didn't fall with it. We rose. When the rest of the world fell into the poverty of despair and devastation, we didn't follow suit. We took a different path, a better one. And while we walked the path to greatness, the Mother Earth thought. She thought for many years what new obstacles she would send our way. Whether it would be another comet, another plague, another way to send us down into the darkness. This night, she chose the monster we named Cobalt. In just a very few hours, the people of Georgia and Alabama have endured. Lives have been lost, shattered, broken, left with never a way to repair. But this is just the obstacle that Mother Earth has presented to us. Another way, another attempt to knock us down, to keep us down. But this very Mother Earth forgets one simple thing. We are mankind. We are humanoid. We are one. We are strong. We are America. And as we have with every single one before it, we will overcome this obstacle. We will knock it down and push forward. We will not let the nightmares keep us from seeing the dream. We will not go into the night. We, as a nation, will not fall. As a nation, we will rise. May God be with us all. Glory to America.